Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Let me get music up and going because I hate having my own thoughts.
Can't be sitting alone with your own thoughts. It's fucked up.
No,
God,
fuck no.
they're
It's truly
loud.
fucked up.
My own thoughts have just got louder and louder of these over the pandemic. I did really just start talking to myself, and now I genuinely can't stop. So I will just walk down the street talking to myself, especially if I've got earphones in and I've got music going. I don't realize how loudly I'm doing it, which you kind of get away with in London because it's like every fourth or fifth person does that anyway.
I talk to Flynn constantly. Like he is he is the thing that I use to pretend I'm not talking to myself. I'm 100% talking to myself.
Excellent.
And like I will sit there and have entire conversations and justify things. And he's like asleep. And I'm like, well, great. All right, cool. If that's the case, then we can move forward. Wonderful. Great meeting.
Man, you guys are both weird. I've never talked to myself in my life. Definitely not.
Once.
Practicing
Sure.
voices in
Definitely
my
not.
apartment.
Definitely not. Living alone, we definitely wouldn't end up
Yeah.
talking to yourself. Not
Dude,
a chance.
I love living alone so much. I've had so much shit just scattered around my living room. There's been like nerd stuff everywhere. I don't have to talk to anyone before I decorate. I love it here so much. It's so nice.
The comfort of knowing that you can wake up and not have to worry about talking to somebody does sound very nice.
Yeah.
I'm quite because I lived on my own for a couple of years before I moved in with the people I live with now, and I enjoyed it, but I do definitely prefer living with people. But those people we have like a very sort of, if my door is closed, don't bother me type rule. So we interact with each other when we want to interact, and we don't when we don't, and that works beautifully because there's always someone to talk to, or most of the time there's someone to talk to.
Voluntarily.
I'm gonna hope that this doesn't make it into it might make it into the bonus content. I'm gonna hope that my parents are not subscribed to the Atlas Loom, and I don't think they are, so that's good. Because I'm gonna complain about my parents. On the topic of if my door is closed, don't come in. So right after college, I got a job and it paid decently okay because I have software stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay at home and collect the paycheck and build up a bank account for a little while and then figure out housing later. So my plan was deal with my parents and stay at home. That lasted 2 months. I could not. It was bad. And I got an apartment as quickly as I could because they just went back to middle high school parent stuff where it's I'm in the room that I have at their house and my dad would just open the door and walk in and start talking at me. And I'm like, bro, I'm a whole ass adult. What?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't be here. This is not going to work. Not wonderful. Yeah, living alone fucking rules. I remember getting back to my apartment and just being like, oh my God, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Oh, that feels nice.
I've had clean laundry just sitting in the dryer for a week now. I'll take care of it whenever
What
I
is
want
the
to.
dryer if not a hamper?
Exactly.
Or
As
I
soon
guess
as
a
I
dresser,
see
really.
it, once it's in sight, I have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But till then, I'm set.
I'm fucking terrible about that. Fuck, I just realized I have laundry sitting in the fucking washing machine. God
You wouldn't
damn
have
it.
taken care of that before.
Go run now.
Yeah.
I would have to
Go
get
do
up.
it now because otherwise,
I'd rather
Otherwise
forget
it'll
about
smell
it.
weird.
Well, then I'll just have to run it again. So, so be it.
it's going to be so stale.
That's a waste of water.
It is a waste of water. I'm a terrible person.
And we have it on record.
And we have it on record.
I have no notes for this session. I'm probably not going to talk at all. I have fuck
got a
all to
dash.
say about voice acting and the like.
I just don't believe that. I feel like you're gonna have a lot to say once we start talking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. I also think it's one of those topics that really benefits from the opinions of someone who isn't necessarily that comfortable with it in of itself, because I think you're probably the voice of the people on that one. And so really
specifically we've got a decent range here, right? Diana, if you're voice averse and Seb's a literal voice actor and I'm a goober who can do one of 3 voices, we've got it all covered. It's great.
Yeah,
but also you do voices, right, Diana? You absolutely do character voices.
Out of necessity, yeah. Otherwise, every single voice is going to sound like a 24, almost 25-year-old woman. I've got an uwu voice. I've got vaguely Southern, but only when I remember to put it on. And then I've got the nobility type voice that I use for Strahd. And that's all. That's your selection.
Oh, I've never heard your Strahd voice.
Yeah, because you guys don't
Saved.
fucking progress.
Whoa!
If you would stop putting
that crossfire.
If he would stop putting
Actually-
sexy-looking wells everywhere, it wouldn't be a problem.
I do actually say this. I think I've been like a sort of narrative speed bump in both sessions I've been.
Oh no, I don't
We're
care.
just
I
all
love the
narrative
narrative
speed bumps.
Yeah, because otherwise I have to actually prep, and I don't want to do that. It's really Strahd is difficult, especially if you turn into a West Marches, because you can just run in whatever fucking direction you guys want. I
For
don't wanna
anyone
prepare
watching
that.
who wants to know what it's like to play at a table with a bunch of D&D content creators,
No one gets anything done.
we have spent like legitimately half of a session in a kitchen
Yeah,
at our base.
That's one of
like,
my favorite sessions, though.
We spent
making bread.
Dev and I spent an hour plus in a handshake.
Yeah, that's
In
so
one
true.
Single handshake.
Yeah, what happens
very
when you
true.
combine complete unawareness of social norms with complete incapability of being rude, and then you just get an hour-long handshake.
It was
That
beautiful.
was a bonding moment.
We had to move it into private messages so we didn't slow everything down too much. We were messaging each other
Oh my
about how we
God.
couldn't get out of the handshake. Oh,
I think in the
Lord.
last handful of sessions that I've been there for, and regrettably I've had to miss a few recently for some unfortunate reasons, but I recall essentially 100% downtime activities and like a bit of going on the road and walking a little bit and then getting to somewhere else to do downtime activities. And like, this is not a complaint. I'm here for the downtime activities personally, but I've done a lot of snooping around and talking with people,
Yeah.
which is honestly just the best way to play.
That's the thing. Is like as a DM and as a player, I've been to one too many sessions where downtime activities are sped through, and especially in a group that's got this much role play talent, you really don't want to. You want to give them all the time that they need, and asking every individual person like, "Hey, is there anything you want to do? No, is there anything you want to do?" That's where their character actually starts to shine, and then
Yeah.
you're not just running a module; you're playing a game.
And plus it gives everybody the opportunity to like actually tackle in fiction long-term projects, which are genuinely important and very difficult to remember to build in sometimes. When you're constantly moving from plot point to plot point, you lose track of like, oh yeah, my character was supposed to be researching some eldritch ancient magic and I haven't had a chance to even go to a library because oops, quests.
And I think also when it comes to developing relationships, like between characters, downtime, sort of low stakes stuff tend to work better for like allowing a relationship to blossom, as opposed to needing that very sudden shift. And that's kind of like if you've allowed that to have its little time and space, then when you have a big dramatic moment that like challenges a certain relationship, then you get that really beautiful stuff rather than kind of having, right, we're friends because we've been together for a long time. Oh no, actually we're friends because like Hemlock's teaching Jocasta how to make bread or whatever it is. It's been for the last few sessions.
So sweet.
We're
It's-
veering dangerously close to giving practical information to people in this
Oh,
here
God, we don't wanna
goofy
do that.
I
bonus
can,
episode.
I can
one
go
that
in a
people
completely
pay
different
for?
direction if you want.
Yeah,
we can go
doo-doo
as
poo-poo,
Doo-doo
sort of jokes
jokes.
and such. Jokes therein. Oh shit, it's me. Hello.
Just have that ready.
Yeah, that was the that was prepared.
Oh wow.
That was-
Oh god, I hate it here. This
Wow.
sucks. Oh
Damn.
no.
Wow. Damn.
My long lost brother.
I have a dog called Flynn. I like Destiny.
Name any
stream.
character from Destiny.
Lance Reddick.
Yep, you got it. You did it.
That's
Yeah. Lance Reddick as portrayed by Lance Reddick. I would play that game is the thing. I would 100% play that game. Because it would imply that Lance Reddick has been brought back from the dead. And that's why I would play that game.
Oh, it's too somber for this now.
Wait, yeah.
Welcome back to the Atlas
That was a good
Loom,
way out. That was a really
A
good way
vigil
out.
for Lance Reddick every single episode.
We've done it so many times. There's got to be a point where like
I mean,
I'm just
start
still
crediting
sad.
his spirit or something.
Sponsored by the Lance Reddick estate.
but he really
Oh,
is. I
God.
mean, he is the glue that binds your two respective fandoms together, isn't he?
He binds every fandom. That man is in everything. It's
He's
him
in
and J.K.
everything, and he's
Simmons
so good.
are in fucking everything.
J.K.
Yeah.
Simmons.
Lance Reddick
He
is
played Ketherick
so
Thorne.
unbelievably good in The Wire. Yeah, you know J.K. Simmons.
You know J.K. Simmons.
You do.
Like he
Hard for
he
that.
voices Ketherick in Baldur's Gate 3 and every other character on the planet.
Did you watch like the 2000s Spider-Man movies?
Yeah, he's J. Jonah Jameson.
He's J. Jonah Jameson.
I don't think I've seen
The
that.
I want
Come
pictures
back
of Spider-Man. Damn it, that guy.
He
Like
looks
that's
familiar.
him.
Jonathan Kimball Simmons. That's
Yo,
Kimball
that's what the
is a-
J-
I didn't
JK stands
know.
for?
Okay, you know what? I could have guessed
I'm even
the J,
more in
but
love.
Kimball went.
Kimball.
Kimball is a bit sideways.
That's really good.
His full name sounds like a brand of cat food.
Yeah, you're not wrong, actually.
He
Jonathan
looks like
Kimball's-
a cat guy.
I wouldn't doubt it. Before I went to drama school, I was ushering at a theatre, and they did Bat Out of Hell, the musical, which is like the Meatloaf musical. And J.K. Simmons loves Meatloaf. So he came in, I think it was 15 times to see that.
That's
particular
amazing.
musical.
Jesus.
I've torn tickets for J.K. Simmons.
This is
Many,
actually
many
a
times.
relevant topic because I've brought this up in the past where like I've had a lot of people talk to me about voice acting, like asking if I do voice work. And I'm always like, no, not really. I feel like I just kind of have the one voice and blah, 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 blah. And then people have pointed out that J.K. Simmons is basically that. Like he is one of the most prolific voice actors or just actors in a generation. And whenever he does a character, it's just like, that's J.K. Simmons. Like he doesn't, it's not trying to hide it. It's just, yeah, that's J.K. Simmons. But he's still bringing like the gravitas and the intricacies. Like with Ketherick, there's footage of him recording lines for Ketherick, horrifying, fucking terrifying.
What?
Because J.K. Simmons, like, if you've seen him in like more of his jovial roles, he's a very smiley, very happy person. When he's recording for Ketherick, he is stiff and stoic and just looks horrifying.
So
he gets
still.
into the character of Ketherick, and oh my god, it's actually legitimately scary to watch.
Well, I'm wary. I mean, I'm wary of treading into sort of main episode territory.
Yes,
but
whoops. But we should touch on that. Like we should legitimately
touch on that. But like also the fact that you can hear physicality, like you really can.
Yeah.
So there's the benefit of that. But no, he is
I'm adding that to my notes.
the way
You can
he
hear physicality.
the way he plays it, and like you say, the stillness, like the solidness of it, it really then comes across in the performance that he gives. But most voice actors do really just kind of use their own voice. Like doing character voice work, the kind of stuff that I tend to do is kind of a niche within a niche, really.
Especially like anime voice actors who have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of credits and do wild ranges of voices. And I think people think of that when they think voice acting. And that's really intimidating. Okay, we're really getting into dangerous.
We're really getting into. We'll
It's fine. I mean, to be fair, like the bonus episodes were originally intended to be Atlas Loom Plus, and then it just devolved into us fucking around and talking about like Flynn and I think Dev's medical issues several times.
I'm good now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Like fully?
I mean, I don't really have anything going on right now. I don't know how, and I guess Diana, you seem fine too. How the fuck did we not get sick?
I have no idea. Yeah, totally fine.
Yeah, what
100%.
happened? Jesus
Just
Christ.
ran into some shit. I don't know.
You've seen Endo's
yeah,
head.
we didn't get sick. And yeah, Endo fucking got slammed by a
Endo lost a fight
Yeah,
with a tree.
okay, you didn't get sick. You were hungover and a tree hurt people.
I was
But
hungover for a day and a half.
You ran into like the Whomping Willow or something.
We did. It wasn't Willow. It was.
that actually makes me feel bad for the Willow. Like, I side with the Willow here.
To be fair, and I did ask
You're the
Endo if we
worst
could talk
druid
about
who ever
this.
lived.
So, audience, I gotta remember that y'all are here. What up, audience? How's it going? So we just got back from PAX, and we'll do a whole PAX debrief episode, probably a little bit shorter than the PAX Unplugged one, only because I was gone for a full day and a half of this PAX because I was hungover as shit. Because on the Friday of PAX, we all decided to go out and go to this lovely little like game bar versus.
There was an M in there,
Boston.
just being clear.
Game bar. I swear I can pronounce R's and M's and things.
She's a horror M in a game bar.
I'm a horror and I love my game bars. What was I going on about? Anyway, people kept buying me drinks. Endo at one point, I look over and he's got 2 vodka sodas, and I thought he was like handing one off to someone else. No, he had both straws like in his mouth, just like sipping them down. He did that twice. And there were, shots involved before that, and then I think after that. Long story short, at one point, hard cut to me and Endo 2 animal nerds, deciding that we wanted to go to the park because there were geese there and we wanted to look at geese.
A very
At 2
reasonable
in
and
the morning.
understandable choice to make.
We had closed down both Versus, the game bar with an M, and the hotel bar at that point. and we were just like hammered. And so we were sprinting around the park. He falls and slams his head into a willow tree. He shatters his phone as well. I don't know if you guys saw that part. We were both hungover for like a day and a half afterwards. We missed out on the con. We like tried to go. We hung out in the media room. I couldn't stand it. The entire Saturday was a wash. And then we go home. Endo catches COVID. So
I messaged Diana the other night, and I sent this to Endo as well. From his perspective, so Endo was unfortunately not able to be at PAX for the entirety of the con. So this guy rolls up on Friday night, gets fucking smashed, literally smashes his face into a tree, and smashes his phone. Spends the next day fully hungover, only to fly home the next morning and contract COVID. What a fucking legend.
It was his first con,
and
too.
didn't bat an eyelid. Didn't bat an eyelid either.
No.
My God. He was like, I'll do it again, too.
Good. We're doing it again. Gen Con's gonna be like a week this time.
The idea of Endo just flying in and whirlwind. Oh my God. So good. Anyway, while they were having a wonderful time getting super drunk at that bar, I was trying to be with my friends and ignoring an active migraine for several hours in a crowded, loud bar. So that was a good time, contrastingly.
I was at home thinking about the fact that I wasn't at PAX with all my friends.
I mean, if you were at PAX, you would have.
But thanks for making me relive this
injured.
live on camera.
Yeah, you're here now. This is basically
it would have been
PAX.
so useful because there was this one point where we were sitting in the hotel bar and there was this guy like right next to us who was with a wedding at the same hotel. And he wasn't part of the con or anything, but he was asking like what we were all in town for. And so Endo and I started talking about how we play D&D and like basically describing D&D to this gentleman. And halfway through the conversation, I sober up just enough to tune back in and realize the guy's Irish, and that was my fucking downfall, because then I started mimicking his accent completely against my own will, and Endo was sitting next to me. I could tell he was doing the same thing, and he was like at one point talking to this dude about his dog and his dog's allergies and like slowly sliding in and out of the Irish accent, and I was like, oh God, we gotta get out of here. This is not good.
I don't know how
So
useful I would have been. I don't think what that
You
man
could have done
walked
it
away.
properly.
But I don't think he would have walked away going, just like, oh, well, they were irritating my accent, but thank God there was a professional with them. Like,
Man, that one chick, she couldn't do an accent
She
for
couldn't do
shit,
it
but let me
at
tell
all.
you, this other guy did, and that saved the night. I think that was really useful that he was there. Good Lord.
I'm glad we're keeping it on topic at least.
I love that you were like, the thing that we need to do, if we want to properly explain what we're doing here right now, is begin to dive into the player's handbook and start just teaching you D&D so that you understand.
He had a daughter who was like thinking about getting into it, and I full on went into like, okay, you want to play D&D? Let me sit you down. Let me tell you exactly what to do. Fuck the handbook. Fuck like everything. Here's the episodes of this one
so
specific
much money
AP you want to watch.
To have that recording. Plastered Diana explaining to some random stranger at a bar how to play D&D.
in an
God,
Irish
I want that.
accent
It's not good.
that she can't
In a
do.
shitty Irish accent.
He triggered my fucking special interest during a con while I have absolutely no social inhibitions. It was not fun.
Do you
looking
happen
back
to
on
know?
what I can
This
remember.
is maybe pushing the boundaries of what you would have actually learned that night. But do you happen to know where in Ireland he was from?
No.
'Cause I'm trying to gauge like just
Are you gonna
exactly
try-
where we were. No, I'm not
I
going
would
to do
assume
it.
the land, primarily.
You reckon? Principally,
just
land.
offshore to the
Yeah.
west.
Just off to the side.
Maybe he was like a lighthouse keeper, though. That's like half of people in Ireland.
He definitely gave me lighthouse keeper vibes. Yeah.
God, that is my
100%.
ideal retirement, honestly. Put me in a
Keeping
lighthouse.
a lighthouse in Ireland.
Yeah. I want to carry around a lantern. I want to wear a cloak. And I want to shoo local children away.
What?
That sounds ideal.
What does a lighthouse keeper do exactly?
They keep the
Are they
lighthouse.
Keep the lighthouse. Yeah.
Not... Okay. Does the lighthouse not like keep
Keep it
itself
out of
automatically?
danger. You know.
You gotta
Like the
defend.
people-
Well, you gotta. Well, first of all, you gotta shoo away the kids. That's
You gotta
important.
defend the lighthouse.
You gotta defend it with your honor. You gotta make sure that the birds aren't pooping too much on it. I mean, I assume you gotta like refill the fuel at some point, right?
I think you also.
You
Yeah. I think you have to also like be aware if a ship is, in danger and potentially give them signals
Yeah.
and stuff. I don't really know.
And then when there's like a big rainstorm, you have to go out onto the balcony thing and like scream and like wave your hands at the boats and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right. And then occasionally run into the ghosts and
Mhm.
things like that. Think about
Yeah.
your long dead wife. and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Well, that's what's not really said about like the lighthouse keeper's work, because like the 15% that you see on screen is the keeping the lighthouse. The 85% is the building up the tragic backstory that you're going to just subtly hint at, but will never be revealed.
You got to be careful if you're marrying a lighthouse keeper, because you're going to die. It's a requirement, and it's a noble way to go. Like if you want to be a part of something bigger, it's not a bad way to do it. But you're gonna die.
There's a common expression
I don't make the rules
in the UK, which is never be a lighthouse keeper's first wife.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Second wife onwards, you're fine.
Gotcha. Right.
They've got great pension plans, but you don't want to be that first wife, because that's headed one way. And
The problem is that like it also depends a lot on like what kind of afterlife you're seeking, because you're also signing up to be a tortured soul. Like you can't leave this plane. You're stuck, right? Like you're haunting. That's the point. So like if you do like the vibe of a lighthouse and you're like kind of okay with being like generally incorporeal, unless you're possessing someone temporarily, it's not a bad gig. I've had worse jobs.
Welcome back to the Atlas Loom, a career advice podcast when it comes to
simply marry a lighthouse keeper, die, and haunt the lighthouse. It's a great career. Pays well.
If you're in a landlocked state, you can just exit the tab right now. There's nothing for you here.
Oh my god, I want to be a lighthouse keeper in a landlocked state.
But that's like the small. That's like just a great spin on this like small town girl wants to make it big and like in the big city dream. Like landlocked girl wants to be a lighthouse keeper. That's
Right.
what a great story. I don't know what
A lighthouse for cars. Just next to an intersection.
A street lamp? It's just all...
Just a really big
We've
street
told
lamp.
you before, you can't shine the light down the motorway.
Wow, it's like I'm back.
That
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
an
like you're
Irish
back in
accent.
PAX.
I want to make it very clear to everyone that wasn't an Irish accent, nor was I trying to do one. That was like West Country-ish.
So Diana's really back at PAX. She can't even interpret the accent.
So true. This is going to be a great episode. This is going to be fantastic.
This is going to be glorious. We'll do like a little sort of every accent I end up doing. We'll just make you write it down, and then at the end we'll see what you thought I did.
Let me grab a notebook in that case.
Been Irish, I have no fucking clue.
They're all
Just
Irish.
got my notebook for all of the notes that I'll be taking on this here episode
hey.
of the Atlas Loom. My goodness.
Oh wow! Show off the inside, show off the back. If you could just like do that, like
Very
content
unfortunately,
creator
it doesn't come across on my camera because it looks washed out. It's not blank pages. It is dot matrix pages, and they are or dot grids, and they're pretty rad. And the back says, "Keep on weaving your worlds."
Wow.
So-
Nice.
Endeavorance, where can interested parties go and get that notebook?
It's a wonderful question. It's a wonderful question. You can go to shop.endeavorance.camp, and you can buy any kind of Atlas Loom stuff you want.
And I improve this message.
Yay!
I'm going to do that periodically.
Because that's what we need is British
what you need.
approval.
That is what everyone is, particularly the Irish. That's what they're really looking for.
America's
that's a way to get
famous for
myself
seeking
cancelled.
England's approval on things.
Yeah. Dude, so we were at the convention center right next to the Boston Tea Harbor fucking like museum, right? And from what people were saying, you can take like functionally like a little cage, I guess, with like tea inside, and then you can just like yeet it into the harbor. But then since it's a museum activity and you have to do it over and over again, they like reel it back in.
I hope that has created like some hyper local advanced species of fish that's just highly caffeinated from the tea that periodically gets infused into their locality.
Well, do you know that like the fish in London are all coked up to the nines? they're all constantly high as a kite because there's so much people flush so much cocaine into the drains that end up going into the Thames, which is not.
Why
a great
is everyone
place for
flushing cocaine? Is that just the like?
Well,
are
there's
you
a lot
supposed
of
to-
people
What do
with
you do to get
cocaine
rid
and a
of
lot of people trying to find the people with cocaine.
Fair,
When you put those
fair.
two together, flushes tend to happen. And yeah, so apparently, like, there is an obscene amount of cocaine in like the Thames. You wouldn't eat a Thames fish anyway if you valued your life. But
If you're
But-
swimming.
If you're on
Like,
your way
wow.
out anyway, you could have a great
You
last
can't-
couple moments.
I did hear a story once. I don't know if it's true that apparently someone once walked up to their waist in the Thames and ended up having to have their stomach pumped. It is not a
that
clean.
dirty?
It's not a clean river.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I tried to, as a kid, I tried to dive into it twice.
Try to, implies you
Yeah.
didn't make it.
Yeah, that sounds.
Well, yeah, because one of them was off the HMS Belfast, which is a very big ship that's in the Thames, so that would have been like a 50-foot dive. My mum, I lived very briefly with my mum in Poland when I was a kid, because my mum was doing a show out there. And so it was all like natural water swimming, and I learned to swim really young. So I was like 3, I think. And so I was just used to being able to dive into any given pond I saw. And my mum, being my mum, kind of wanted to encourage that behavior, but then didn't think, understandably, about what would happen when I returned to London, where there is a big source of water in the city. So we were on the HMS Belfast, which is a big battleship. Like sort of World War II era battleship that's on the Thames. Apparently, I basically I couldn't say S's really at the time. So I just went like, "Wimming," and then just like charged towards the prow of the ship and tried to dive off. And then a second time I ran off with a parade of Hare Krishnas.
Okay.
And they found me.
Did you
Because
convert?
it was exciting. Don't get me, I should make it very clear, I have an excellent mother. These were isolated incidents.
Shout out to Seb's mother.
Because she might
for
well
watching.
listen to this. She does. She's very supportive. I have an excellent mother. But yeah, I ran off, and then people ended up looking for me, including the police, and the police found me walking into the Thames, which is a little bit disturbing. But I think I was just going for a swim, going for a quick dip.
Goodness.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Inner Harbor has a dedicated boat that people love that is like a giant garbage eating machine. It just sails around the harbor.
Oh.
And it has like a
yeah.
wheel that just dumps garbage into itself. And they put like giant eyes on either side. So it's adorable.
They're cute.
But yeah, you
Really
just see this boat going along and it's just eating up all the trash out of the harbor. It's actually done a really, really good job. The harbor's like genuinely getting cleaner and like species are returning, which is cool. But
makes
yeah,
sense.
Cool.
just like a cute little guy, just kind of like, I mean, the purpose of it is sad, but just cute little guy going along, just munching up all the garbage.
We need one of those.
Like a little local celebrity.
We need one of those.
I need to do more visual gags. So, audience, I'll slam a picture of this little guy.
Oh yeah.
Right now.
Gotta find it.
There you
Hold
go.
on.
I approve this message.
Trash boat.
Mr.
Mr. Trash Wheel, that's his name.
Mr. Trash
Is it
Wheel.
really? That's the best I could come up with?
Oh, no,
Trash
are
wheel,
you
like
kidding me?
trash
That's
wheel
great.
face?
I just threw it into Discord.
Mr. Trash Wheel. Oh my
How
god,
dare
he's
you assume that
beautiful.
trash wheel's gender?
His name is Mr. Trash Wheel. First of all, I don't see why you gotta limit.
Oh, that is really fucking cute.
It's really cute.
Mr. Trash Wheel is so much more adorable than I was picturing a kind of giant monstrosity.
Nope.
Oh, no. Oh, I love Mr. Trash Wheel.
Everybody loves Mr. Trash Wheel.
Oh god, if you guys have ever played World of Goo, it's like that frog from World of Goo.
Yep. And we're gonna put that up on the screen now.
Thank
I have
you.
mixed feelings on this message.
First time he says that, I'm just gonna like put like a 2% opacity British flag on, like a.
You better make sure it's a Union Jack and not an English flag, or I will come for you.
Jesus.
will-
Okay,
I will
I'll
hunt
have
you.
you approve it.
Will not have my face associated with the English flag. This is I should point out because I'm Welsh, not
Right.
as some Welsh I guess leads
Hey,
me to be relatively adverse to the English.
What's the difference between a Union Jack and the UK? The British flag?
The British
I
flag.
thought the Union Jack referred to the
Union
British
Jack
flag.
was, but there's also each country has its own flag as well.
Yeah, but then they're all like stacked on top of each other, right?
Sort of. There's a lot of argument about whether or not they should put like the Welsh dragon in the middle, which for me is
They
a
should.
clear yes, because it's a
Yeah,
dragon.
it's a fucking dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
no,
this because every time you mention a flag and what it looks like, I'm gonna have to find the photo and like put it in the edit so people know what we're talking about. So if you could just tone it the
Okay.
fuck down, because I don't know what flags look like.
It's not like the flag of Luxembourg,
You're not a vexillologist?
which I think is personally wonderful.
The fuck did you just call me?
A vexillologist? I think that's the term for flag person. Vexillologist.
Flag.
Welcome back to the Atlas Loom, flag
Yeah.
discussion podcast.
Vexillology, noun, the study of flags.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't think it's been a hot sec since I've edited the Atlas Loom sober because it takes so fucking long and I'm such a perfectionist. My liver slowly declining.
It's an interesting sort of train of thought, though. I'm such a perfectionist, therefore I've never done it sober. In terms of
Yeah, because if I do it sober, then the perfectionism gets. So with OCPD, the only time it's ever suppressed is when I'm drunk, is what I've learned.
That's interesting. Okay.
Are you getting that too, Diana?
Yeah.
I'm getting
Is
that.
that me? I'm also not good at. So I used to be in stagecraft, and I got yelled at a lot for the way I handle wires, and so I wouldn't be surprised if it was something that I've done.
I was a stagecrafter as well.
Oh my god, look at
That's
us.
good
A bunch
shit.
of theater nerd and
Yeah,
theater
who could
nerd
have fucking
adjacent.
thought?
Yeah. Ugh.
I forget. I think it was Kate. She was like, I don't know if you have any experience with theater stuff, but, and I was like,
Just getting war flashbacks.
sure.
But I mean, Seb, you've done full on, like, you're certified in stage combat and shit.
I'm very certified in stage combat. I do quite a lot of theatre still. I'm not. It's just that kind of stuff doesn't translate so well to the TikToks. Yeah, so I'm very grateful to you talented stagecraft people. Well, I don't really know. Like stagecraft feels like a slightly different term to what I use. So what exactly do you mean by it? Like lighting
Just the
up?
behind the scenes tech nonsense and the usually set building is what I think of. I don't know if that's
I did, yeah. Like I think when I hear stagecraft, I think of set building. When I hear theater tech, that's tech.
like
So we would call that stage carpentry. So
Stage carpentry.
really.
I mean, that's more accurate. No, actually, I feel stagecraft is more because sets are a craft. They are not carpentry.
what are
They
you trying
are.
to say about carpentry?
I'm saying carpentry requires like being precise and caring about people's safety.
Were you not precise or caring about people's safety when
Yeah,
you
I
were
was
doing
gonna say-
stagecraft?
Hang on, what?
Wait. Hold on.
We were precise enough, and we cared about safety enough.
You need,
No one
you
got
need
hurt.
to
Look up
be-
news articles
a set
from when
needs
you
to be
were,
within
like-
2 millimeters accurate. That's the rule.
Yeah.
Mhm. Anyway, welcome back to the Atlas Loom, a Minecraft discussion podcast.
What? No, I mean, like, it's just stagecraft is a lot more about facade, right? Like, stagecraft is about making it look like it is the thing you need it to look like by any means necessary. And so, like, there was just a lot of, you know, the very front of the stage looks correct, and then behind the
Everything
veneer
else is just duct tape and
yeah,
like,
basically, but not in a dangerous way. In a this doesn't need to look good; it just needs to exist and be strikeable. You
I'm seeing how
you
far
cross
you
the
can dig
proscenium,
your,
and suddenly
dig
it's
your
boom.
hole before, like, I reveal that my dad is a stage carpenter.
Mm.
I'm just going to see how far it can go. There's quite a famous story, and I can neither confirm nor deny if my dad was involved in this. But
Oh, boy.
but he did used to work doing sets for operas, and obviously operas quite famously have divas in them, particularly in the leading roles.
Me,
Have you got an operatic voice, Endeavorance?
yeah, you
I
can't tell.
believe that. I would buy it. I'd 100% buy it.
Got the whole Valkyrie outfit and everything.
Beautiful. So there was this particular diva just horrible to the crew all the way through the like whole production, whole tour. And it was Tosca, and like many operas, it ends with someone throwing themselves off a tall place. And,
is that common in operas?
oh yeah,
That's like the default opera. Yeah,
that's yeah. You can assume if you don't know what happens in an opera, there's like an 80% chance that will be the ending,
Can't
and
spoil.
definitely does happen in this one. And so she goes up to the back of the stage, and then is like throws herself off the back basically onto a crash mat. And the very last night, because she'd been so awful, they replaced the crash mat with a trampoline. So she threw herself off the battlements and bounced back onto the stage.
What?
that's see now that is super fucking not okay, but hilarious. Lighting terrifying. Lighting horrifying.
Landing is scary. There's like 3 different fail safes, and you get yelled at if you touch any of them the wrong way.
You like look at a like Fresnel lens the wrong way, and you are now blinded and burnt at the same time. So
When I was in high school, we did In the Heights, which is to this day my favorite musical, for obvious reasons. And we like did it, and we thought we did a fantastic job for the low budget public school type stuff that we had to work with, like, you know, reused screws and planks and things like that. And then we found out that another nearby school, like a private Christian school, was doing the exact same play. And we were like, oh, let's all, and they offered us like a private showing of it. And so we were like, oh, cool. So we piled into the theater, like we watched them like do their performance and all that. And when the curtains peeled back, they had like the fanciest fucking, it was like they built actual buildings. They had a bridge going over a river in the middle of the theater, like the stage. There was no bridge in the fucking script. They were just showing off. They had like full on like open windows and things like that. Meanwhile, we just had scaffolding that had like a plank of plywood in front of it. It was fine. It was fine. We're fine.
I had a school when I was in high school and we did Beauty and the Beast, I had another school do it right after we did it, and they just took our entire set wholesale. Like, we had built everything, and they were like, "Can we have that?" And we were like, "Okay, I guess."
In support of the art.
I built a fucking throne, and I wanted it. I wanted to take it home, but I couldn't.
Because they took your set.
Because they took my throne! Oh my god. I could have had a throne.
What else were you going to say, Seth?
Well, I was just going to say there was when I was at drama school, so the final year of drama school, you do just shows, basically. And normally the drama schools kind of communicate with one another about who's doing what, because mostly the people who come to see them are agents and industry people to come and like check out new actors coming on the scene. And so obviously they don't want to sit through the same show multiple times. And we were doing a 3 and a bit hour show called Earthquakes in London.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a long,
it's a lot of earthquakes.
Long, quite hard show. It's not. There are earthquakes. So I wouldn't say it's about earthquakes. It's about climate change, really, and then all sorts of other dark stuff. And 5 drama schools did it at exactly the same time.
Oh, God.
5 separate drama schools, which must have been exhausting for everyone coming to see it. And it then also just bred this like horrible competition between us all, because it's a fairly small world. There's only like each year is 30 people in each drama school. So there were like, it was maybe 100 people total. So we all knew the people who were playing the same parts as each other. So and then you'd have one friend go off and say, was he a better Colin than me? No.
I thought you were going to say that people would just like show up and sub for each other in their shows.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would have been hysterical. I mean, basically impossible because of like blocking and shit, but still hilarious.
I did do a Cinderella once where 2 people had done it for so long. The 2 women playing the Ugly Sisters had done it for so long that they just randomly would decide on a given day which of them would play which Ugly Sister, and
that actually sounds nice.
They wouldn't warn the rest of the cast, so you just had no idea what they were going to do. It was great though. It was really nice. Catch you on your toes.
Incredible.
This is what the people pay for.
Yeah.
It's Flint, not us. Do you take him to dog parks and stuff much?
I did when he was younger, and then some bad stuff happened, and so now I don't. Because he had a couple of run-ins with dogs, the people who were bringing aggressive dogs to dog parks that then went after him, and so he started learning the aggressive behavior, and it's like, I don't need him thinking that this is the right way to interact with animals, so.
From what I understand, the attitude nowadays is shifting more towards, welcome back to the Atlas Loom and Animal Discussion Podcast. The attitude's generally shifting more towards just like, don't bother taking your dog to dog parks. There's too many viruses that go around. There's too many behavior issues. Generally, depending on where you go, they're not even that great. Like, Bend has a solid range of dog parks. One of them is just a gravel field, basically. Not even grass, just gravel. But there's another one that opens up into, because of course there is. There's another one that just like is a open like chain link fence, and then the 4th side of it just opens into the river, so dogs can just kind of like splash around and go swimming.
Yay!
And then there's another one that's like a massive area. It's split in half on the very far north side of town. One half is just like a huge fenced in zone that's just basically kept natural with a couple like trails going through it. And so it's just like dogs just sprint around the high desert a little bit,
so
and you know
good.
that they're safe. But it's like so big you can't see the other side. And then the other half of it is actual like maintained lawn and things like that for like smaller dogs. And it makes me wish I had a dog. Seb, do you have any?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've got, so Hampstead Heath is, I think it's the biggest inner city park in Europe. I think there's loads. I could be wrong on that, but it's massive and pretty wild. Like I'm kind of confused at the notion of a dog park. Is that like, so is like a default park? You can't have your dog off lead. You shouldn't have a dog at all.
Most parks have like rules posted about dogs on leashes. Like there's a really famous park, for example, in like Austin, Texas, that's off leash everything. And so it's like ostensibly a dog park, but it's famous for having a lot of dogs running around everywhere, but it's not a dog park.
Okay. So yeah, because obviously we do have places where it's like keep your dog on the lead, but the default is that they can go off lead. And a lot of the places that I go to, with my dog, because my dog needs to run. All he wants in life is to be chased. He doesn't need to be chased particularly hard either. So sometimes he's quite good for like old dogs to play with, because they just need to take a couple of steps and he'll just off in one direction, kind of goes bounding around and come back. He's like a little sort of like missile. But yeah, so we've, because London's a really, really green city. I think people don't necessarily realize there's loads of parks. So there's one just up the road as well, which has got a little skate park that the dogs go into as well, which is quite nice.
A doggy skate park.
It's a human skate park.
Flynn would love a half pipe. Holy shit. Good lord.
Well, I was gonna say, so the default is off leash for you guys, and we can't have that here because there's too much natural like habitat that could get destroyed, like wetland habitat along the river and things like that. I imagine you guys are already so far gone that's all just maintained anyway.
Yeah. Although, like, you know, you say that, I think it was the American squirrels that did a lot of it.
Really?
all your American gray squirrels that like wiped out and cannibalized the red squirrels.
Correct, honestly.
Yeah.
Sounds like you need more powerful squirrels.
Oh yeah, a proper American there. Sounds like your military wasn't strong enough.
We sent the squirrels over there to get your oil.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
You know America spends 3 times more on its gray squirrels than any other country does on its native species.
But the next 10 countries combined. We got black squirrels here too.
Do you?
Yeah. I need to triple check this because this is somewhere between definitely real and an urban legend. But
I mean, you're the zoology major, though.
I am the zoology major, so we definitely have black squirrels. I can tell you for sure because I see them all the time. My understanding is that a professor at a nearby university, which is a major university, I'm just not saying to dox myself, like experimented and specifically bred black squirrels and then like released them back out, and now they're just everywhere. Oh, I lost your video feeds. I thought Diana was just very sus. Hold on, let me get
Well, Diana looks frozen to me as well, but you're moving.
She says her computer just restarted.
That's why we've got time.
I just texted back saying, "Wow." Oh, perfect. So you just have the balled up toilet paper.
I prepped for this podcast, but this is my prep.
Very good.
This is the sum total of my prep. All
right, well, we can just go ahead and get started with the main episode then. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Atlas Loom. My name is Endeavorance. With me, as always, is Diana of the Rose.
Hi.
Very obviously here. Diana, tell us all of your secrets.
I actually have never played D&D in my life. Obviously, I'm a horror DM. And do you know what? I actually think that Bend is maybe the worst place to live in America, if not the world.
See, that's surprising. Yeah. Can you tell me about like specifically why?
Well, I think honestly the people are the first problem. There's not enough kids, and
pretty adult place. Too much alcohol available.
Adult place, which isn't very fun. There's not really any good like nature around. But again, I'd reiterate, I don't like the people of Bend. So yeah.
Got it. Cool. Makes sense. Well, thank you for sharing that opinion.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? Let me ask you this: what is your most hated racial ethnic group? Please don't answer that. Not even jokingly.
The Welsh? I was trying to think what I could get away with.